You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What up, boys and girls? It is Monday night. It is 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. It is June 12th, 2023, and you are tuned into the Drive-In Speaker Box, broadcasting live from the Drive-In Speaker Box studios, as we do every week. I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator.
I'm Slick Doggy the Grip.
And we've got a fun show for you tonight. We always talk about movies. We talk about what's coming out. We talk about what's been out. We talk about what's in theaters. We talk about what you probably should have seen. We talk about what's been remade, or you probably didn't even know it was a remade, or based on, or tied to, or universal connected. That's what we do here. We do all those things and more. That's what the "and more" at the end of our title is about. It's all that shit.
At the pre-show, we had, 3 or 4, real-life personal stories that we related to movies?
Yeah, man. We pre-show, speaking of the pre-show, if you want to get in on that pre-show, it's about generally 15 minutes to a half hour of Twitch streaming, because we multi-stream this on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, wherever you're watching this. But on Twitch, we start early. We chat it up with the fans. We talk about whatever. We drink Malort. I drink Malort, and Jake drinks his Coors Banquets.
Typically, I prefer water, but I didn't
bring any water.
I just have the fine water from Golden, Colorado.
You know we have the water cooler.
Oh.
The Culligan water cooler, only the best.
I thought it was just gone.
No, I just moved it over there. Did some upgrades to the studio. We're in here tonight, so don't forget to like and subscribe wherever it is you want to watch. We prefer Twitch. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun stuff there. But if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, wherever it is you subscribe to podcasts, thank you, and tell your friends. So this week, of course, as the title suggests, we both saw Transformers.
You did?
I did. I did see the Transformers, The Rise of the Beasts. And we're going to talk about it. We have not talked about it with each other yet, so we're gonna share our ideas together later in the program. So
it's starting to sound like one of Sam's AI conversations.
Oh, geez. In our Discord, we have one of our viewers that's been just nonstop posting AI-generated screenplays of the two of us, and they're long and abundant, and I'm going to create a sub-channel for these things. They're bananas. But if you're already joining us in the chat, shout-outs to everybody that's already in our Twitch chat. Shout-outs to Dina tuning in from North Carolina, far away there. We got Vince, we got Velvet Santa, we got Alto Pitch, all the guys in there. Shout-outs to our Twitch homies in the pre-show. Okay. Vince says, if you're listening to the podcast, leave a review. It really, really does help the show get more eyeballs. So if you download this, if you listen, comment, post a review. It helps us. It really does. You may not think that it does, but just a click that bink, it's big. It's big. Remember? I know you were thinking it.
I was holding it back, man. Local commercial with just the weirdest thing. It's big. It's just the weirdest thing.
Shout outs to Rolf Wilkinson.
Yeah, Wilkins.
Anyway, I thought it was Wilkinson. Is it just Wilkins?
It don't matter. Eureka Pizza, everybody.
Yeah, Pizza Czar. Local Pizza Czar. Anyway, we've got a show for you tonight, but let's talk about some news. Shout outs to Tony. What's up, Tony, over in YouTube? Some news this week, man. Did you hear that?
Look,
did you hear?
It's at the top of my notes.
It's
because
at the top
I was
of my
excited
notes.
to tell you if you hadn't seen that.
There is a new Leprechaun. The Leprechaun Man. The Warwick Davis himself.
No.
Is it not Warwick Davis?
No.
Oh, shit. Well, then fuck it. I don't care.
But it is being done by the producer from It.
But how can you make... I just saw a new Leprechaun movie, and I was like, okay, I'm pumped.
No, because in the last Leprechaun movie that came out in 2018, it was Hornswoggle from WWE that had taken over the role. And actually, if I remember, I think it was a WWE Studios movie. But Warwick Davis retired from the role Though, since
But
he
bringing him back, I thought like with Willow, I was
and they
hoping.
canceled Willow, so
Yeah, but then that means he has more time for Leprechaun.
yeah, I mean Leprechaun is Warwick Davis. If you ever watched any of the 5 or 6 movies he did,
It says, I'm reading this article, it says they still have not cast the main guy, and it says they might try and convince Davis to come back.
oh, I'm sure they might try, but you were just announcing that it was, and I was like, that is not
It better
the
be.
case. So far, they're just announcing the movie. The movie is coming out.
What is it when you say something into the universe?
Hand Warwick Davis one of these.
We're making it so we're willing it into existence is what we're doing. He needs to have more gold press latinum. Well, would the Leprechaun care about gold press latinum?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
know.
him and oh man, they could do a Star Trek crossover, and it'd be Leprechaun and Quark, and they're just
Or
Quark
Leprechaun.
there you go. The Leprechaun wants the gold, and Quark wants the latinum inside, and they team
Make
up.
a deal.
Yeah, and they just start killing everyone, and Odo has to like figure it out. I'm onto something here.
Changelings.
Yeah, copyrighted TM. Speaker box.
Yeah, that's the chat GPT script that somebody needs to write. But yeah,
I'm going to pin it. It'll be like the next gen X-Men crossover.
What?
You don't know about that?
No.
Yeah, it was like a novel, and I think they
X-Gen?
even did like a little comic that's hard to find. Next Generation and X-Men had a crossover, and that was the whole first thing of Patrick Stewart, like Spider-Man meme of Professor X and Captain Picard, but that was long before Patrick Stewart ever played Professor X, but every fan of anything in the world wanted him to. Yeah, kind of. It was that era. It was 90s.
Weird. I don't know. I have no recollection of this. I never knew this existed. That's
I
crazy.
have it somewhere. I have the book. It's
hell
not very
yeah.
long. It's just
Other news, I don't know if you guys heard about this. I think it's going to be bullshit, but you never know. Bryan Cranston announced that he's going to be taking a break from acting in 2026.
yeah. He had announced something, and everyone threw a big fit that
Well,
he
he
was
is like
retiring.
67 years old.
He said when he hits 70, he's going to put his acting career on pause, but he's not going to retire.
Well, it's because he's got a lot of tequila to sell, right?
Oh, does he own tequila?
Who doesn't? But yeah.
Diddy doesn't. Diddy owns
Ciroc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has vodka. And I think 50
and-
Cent has like that Branson cognac or something.
Timberlake also has a vodka, right?
They all have spirit
And
brands.
Ryan Reynolds has a gin.
Aviation. Yeah.
And Dan Aykroyd has a rum.
Crystal Head. No, he has vodka. Crystal
Okay,
Head
his is vodka.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sammy Hagar has Cabo Wabo.
Well,
And
that only
everybody
makes
knows that
sense.
one. The Rock has Terramana. George Clooney was Casamigos.
lots of celebrity liquors.
Snoop
Snoop
Dogg
Dogg has
and-
his wine.
And his gin, Indago, which is like a strawberry gin and juice. Yeah, of course, it's purple.
Markets
that-
itself.
Yeah, it's garbage. It's really bad. I have a bottle at home.
Yeah, but if you smoke like Snoop, it won't matter.
It has what? Oh, 818. Who's that? Oh, the Jenners. Yeah, 818.
Like Brody? Brody's the cool one.
None of the cool ones.
I think there's only the one cool one. Because he had that MTV show, like Be My Bro or whatever. It was kind of like The Bachelor, but for like finding a homie. Did you ever
Be my
watch
bro.
that?
No,
Dude, it was so good.
Be my homie.
Yeah.
Vince says you can tell that I'm a bartender because I call Crystal Head. Everyone else calls it Crystal Skull. That's right. I know my
Hey,
my brand names.
getting back to movies, you know what? Indiana Jones projections are out for its new movie. Come out, what, next week or the week after?
It's coming up soon.
Sometime in the next 2 weeks, surely. Before the end of the month, Indiana Jones is going to be out.
June 30th.
Okay, right at the end of the month. The projections for it are in, and it is scoring lower than Crystal Skull. So right now, no one has faith in the new Indy.
Honestly, who had any?
Yeah, I mean, CGI has no place in my Indiana Jones.
No. I mean, and de-aging, I get it. You're trying to do all that stuff, but that's not where they're going to stop. You know it.
Well, and there's all that talk that it's going to focus on Sophie Waller-Bridge instead of Indiana Jones and all that stuff. So
terrible. But
yeah.
we'll see it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we have to watch it.
Also movie related, but also video game related.
Oh, I have a bunch of those lined up.
So I've got two big ones. Well, one humongous one relevant to me. But the other one, Friday the 13th, the game. Everybody likes that game. It apparently was really cool. I never played it, but apparently it's pretty spooky, and it's one of those survival horror games. They have lost the franchise rights, and they will no longer, I think, later this year, I want to say, December 31st, 2023 is when the license is supposed to expire, so they're only going to be able to sell it to the end of this year, and then they lose the rights to it, and it'll disappear. So,
like the Scott Pilgrim game did for years. I got you.
Yeah, you lose that, and that's again one of those IP rights that we talk about a lot, where physical media is important.
Which means if you own the digital copy, and you want to keep it, you better have it downloaded, because if you delete it, it will not be there for you to be able to download it again.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's.
I wonder what that means for all the DLC if you have like a physical copy and had to delete DLC.
I don't know.
Won't be able to get it.
Probably won't. But that was interesting news. The thing that I've been most excited about this week is Sea of Thieves news. I know it's not movie related, but it is pirate related, which has affected all of movies.
I mean, Sea of Thieves has.
Yeah, well, and
Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's old news.
But what also affected Pirates of the Caribbean was Tales of Monkey Island. The Monkey Island games have affected all of pirate media throughout history, all good pirate media. And
throughout history. Since the dawn of time, Monkey Island.
Dawn of 1984, I think, when the first game came out. But yeah, they are doing an official 3-part Monkey Island Sea of Thieves.
3-part?
3 tall tales coming out. One every...
son of a bitch. And
yeah.
I already committed to this in our group chat.
Yes. It's 3 tall tales.
I updated my game the other day.
I cannot be more hyped. The trailer looks so good. I'm so excited.
Does that mean you guys are going to finally upgrade your consoles so that y'all can keep up with me and I'm not the only one having to fucking respawn and save our asses all the time?
Oh, like you were saving anybody's ass.
Well, I was the only one that could get off the fucking ship of the damned in time. Or get a mermaid and be back on the ship without a 5-minute load screen. Guy.
I don't know. What is a new Xbox?
$500.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Y'all are insane. I'm gonna go. Vince says we could stream it. We could. I don't know how to do that.
I guess you could get a Series S for
I know how to do
250, 300 and be like a digital console wiener boy.
I don't know about that.
Hey, you know what?
But anyway, what were you going to talk about?
Video games. Xbox had their whole thing, the Xbox game reveal deal yesterday, and one of those things that they showed is that there's a new Star Wars game coming out from Ubisoft called the Star Wars Outlaws, and you play Han Solo with boobies. You're a female Han Solo with salamander thing.
Wait, you are Han Solo?
Basically, yes.
Is it got a different name?
You're a girl Han Solo, dude. I don't know. It's just a revealed trailer, like some gameplay.
Ma'am Solo or
you're an outlaw. You have a robot you team up with. The whole thing is you steal stuff and turn it into fences, and you wear the same jacket. You got a Han Solo vest jacket thing on. It's like the same. They're like, this chick isn't Han Solo, but it's definitely Han Solo. And you're in a ship, and you have to run away from the Empire.
Because we can't make any cool new original characters. We have to take characters you already love.
Yeah. So it's Han Solo down to the robot from the Han Solo movie as your co-pilot instead of a cool Chewbacca. So it is Han Solo.
Does Chewbacca have like a ribbon and its hair?
No, there's no Chewbacca. There's just the
the
girl and the robot so far. It looks pretty, but the premise from the trailer, the gameplay and everything I watched makes it look like you're just a cheap Han Solo. So that's kind of disappointing there. Well, give me back 1313, damn it. I want my bounty hunter on the basement of Coruscant game. That one looked good. There is a new Transformers game that has been announced. But of course, instead of doing cool Transformer things and playing as Transformers, you play as a group of humans that have to find the Autobots because the Decepticons won, and you have to rebuild Autobots to join your team and fight back against the
it's
Decepticons.
another like Minecrafty maker bullshit game.
No, it's like an apocalypse game. They haven't shown much of it yet, but it's been announced. But the whole thing
it's
is
a survival maker game.
Yeah, you're a team of humans that have to rebuild Autobots to
Why
fight
are all
for you.
games like that? Even the new Zelda game is that now.
And talking about apocalypse and survival games, there's a new Terminator game announced, and it's Terminator Survival Project. And the whole thing is it's right after apocalypse stuff, and it's a survival game. You have to collect, and you have to make sure you're not cold, and you have to build up crap.
I don't want to.
Not too much of that's
I
out
want to
yet.
spend like
either.
10 hours foraging for sticks
I know.
to make a shed.
I absolutely hate that style game. It's dumb. It's not fun.
What
and
happened to
it's
just like rolling up and being like, T-1000's on the horizons. Grab this fucking chain gun.
shoot them?
Like,
Yeah,
that's a game.
Fun.
Like,
yeah,
music is a weapon, and you're just like blasting
Yeah.
with CDs and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah, and you're.
eat the rich.
That's right, dude. Revolution.
Yeah, survival games are like you give someone $70 so that you can have another job at home, and your job is don't let your dumbass character die. I don't want to do
Just
that.
a
I wanna have-
Tamagotchi that's $100.
Yeah, I want to have fun. And then there was some other video game, and I'm looking at my notes. That might have been it. Maybe that was it. Yeah. But hey, talking about old properties and stuff, with the success of Mario Brothers, I was reading some articles that say it's pretty much a shoe-in that we're getting a Zelda movie. Now, I don't know how they're going to make it.
Excuse me, princess.
Yeah. Now, what timeline are they going to do? Are they going to make its own original timeline? Are they going to do whatever this new Switch timeline is? Is Link going to talk? Are Gerudo's going to like be trying to hop on Link all day? Like, I don't know. I don't think that the idea of a Zelda movie is a good idea. Because of that. Yeah, because of exactly that.
Me, princess.
Yeah, we got to get that one again. Where is it?
Hey, excuse me, princess.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yep. But also, the directors of Mario CGI movie have been tasked with doing a Flintstone reboot movie.
Yeah, but Debba, don't. Like, no. Why? Is it going to be animated?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like, I don't know, woke and crazy and
Probably.
like, I mean, it's just like, why? Like, can we just, instead of doing the Flintstones, like, can we just do like another animated?
Yeah. Well,
like
Pebbles is going to be the main character, just like Peach was,
Christ.
right? Or Betty will be the main character.
Yeah, because she was secretly the hottest one.
Well, she was the her character wasn't explored enough in the original series, so they're going to make her the main character, and she's truly going to be the heroine of the story, because Fred and Barney are going to be addicted to bowling, and it's going to be up to Betty to save the day.
And they work too much.
I just wrote your fucking movie for you, and it's going to suck, but everyone's going to give you money.
Dude, just make another Stone Age family. Certainly the Flintstones had some fucking neighbors or something, right? Like,
yeah, the Rubbles.
Not the Rubbles. They'd be like the Limestones or something, or it's like the Pyrites. They live down the street, and it's like all glitz and glam, and just can we just like, I don't, and I'm not one of those dudes that's like, I'm real concerned about this Eminem shoes. Like, I don't give a fuck about that, but can we just do something new? Like, that's what gets me all bent out of shape.
Vince, how Betty wasn't explored enough. Come on, guy.
Alto misogyny in the Stone Age. Like, all I just want is just some new content. That's the only thing that pisses me off about all these. We're gonna reboot it and do some gender flips. Honestly, I don't care about that. I just want something new. Like something just that they thought for 2 seconds about. And oh god,
you're not gonna get that because.
Fuck.
They've announced another John Wick spin-off movie, and it will have Halle Berry returning with her character from John Wick 3.
Oh, that's right. She was in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had the dogs that bit people.
Oh,
You remember?
That's right.
I mean, one of the dogs did bite a dude's ding dong clean off. But yeah, apparently we're going to get Ballerina, and then we're going to get Halle Berry's character movie and all that. And none of it's going to be what you want from John Wick. It's all going to be turds and garbage. And you're like, yeah, this is fine. But where's Wick? And they're like, oh, he's in 2 seconds of Ballerina. Didn't you see him? And also, what about my boy Donnie Yen? I now need more Donnie Yen. That's what I need.
Yeah, he did steal the show. And he could walk up steps better. Despite being blind.
Yeah, you're still holding on to that, huh?
I am. Yeah, I am.
And you know what, too? You're just going to get more and more of the same, because Across the Spider-Verse made the same amount of money as the first movie in 12 days. Yeah, so that's never going to stop.
It's going to be beyond the Spider Bank. And yeah, it's just so much spider. Well, and the next one, I did read that it's supposed to come out next year. I guess they were creating them all together. So we will get it faster, at least.
That's better, talking fast, because Vin Diesel tweeted out the release date for Fast 11. April 4th, 2025.
April 1st, 2025, which seems
you got to
more
wait
appropriate.
another 2 years to get it. And it's currently on VOD, and everyone is saying that
Fast X is on VOD?
Yeah, it released last week. It's been out for a little while, and everyone's poking fun of it. And after only 3 weeks in the theater, you can rent it at home. And, dude, my Xbox has been pushing on me hard. It's like, if you rent Fast 10 at home, unlock deals on the good movies. You can buy the good movies for cheap. And it's like, I already got the good movies. I don't need to watch 10 again, ever.
Vince busting out the old reboot emoji. Yeah, not a lot of people have been using that one, but there it is. Boop, 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 boop.
Yep.
And
so
shaking it
they
up.
already got the plans for Fast 11, and that was tweeted out there. And then, you know what? The D&D directors that did an actual pretty decent, fun movie.
That was a good movie.
They're making a new movie for Apple TV with Ryan Reynolds.
Is it just going to be him being a sarcastic butthole?
Yeah, well, you know it, dude.
Yeah.
So they're sticking with more of the same, because that was just Chris Pine, but they're replacing him with.
But is it going to be
Ryan
D&D?
No.
I watch Ryan Reynolds be what character would Ryan Reynolds be?
The same character he was in that Netflix movie with The Rock and Gal Gadot.
No, I meant like his D&D character. Like if he was going to roll up a character in D&D, what class would he be?
He would be a bard with the highest charisma ever.
So he'd just be Chris Pine's character. Yeah, damn it.
But like insane charisma.
Yeah.
There is a Deadpool Wolverine movie coming out. Deadpool 3, there's been pictures on set or in the reading rooms with Hugh Jackman, and everyone's getting super stoked about that. There's also pictures and videos from on set of Ghostbusters Afterlife 2, which no one is thrilled about. And then there was pictures and video from set of some other big movie that I forgot to write down. Something better than Ghostbusters 2. Afterlife 2.
Afterlife 2. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Talking about things like that, on set, off set, whatever, people in rooms talking. Apparently, there's a new Netflix Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary coming out because Netflix is full on Arnie.
They're jumping on the Arnold train.
They got Sylvester Stallone to say that Arnold really was the top action star.
Did you see
So he's
on Paramount
conceded.
Plus, like Sylvester Stallone's got like a Kardashian show coming out, where it's just like Sylvester Stallone and his daughters, and they're like around the house, like painting his toes and shit. It's.
Stop.
Oh, okay, yeah. Ghost 971 says, "Oh my God, the Stallone reality show." Yeah, it looks so bad. It looks so bad.
You missed the boat on that one because the Gene Simmons Family Jewels and the Ozzy show and all that stuff.
Old news.
Yeah, the Hogan Knows Best stuff. That's years in the past, man.
They're trying to get on it. Oh, speaking of Netflix, though, did you see? And I called this. Everybody's like, "Oh, we gotta get off the Netflix train because Netflix shooting themselves in the foot by cracking down on password sharing. Nah, no one's gonna want Netflix anymore. Fuck that. Get it out of Netflix. I hate them." And then Netflix was like, "All right, well, we're gonna crack down on password sharing." And I don't know if you've gotten kicked off your Netflix like I did, because.
I don't use Netflix.
Well,
I used it to watch that Schwarzenegger TV show to talk about on this show.
Well, I share my parents' Netflix, and then they use my Amazon. My sister uses my Crunchyroll. Like, we're all password sharing.
Yeah, my brother and I and my parents all. My parents use all of my stuff, and my brother uses all of my stuff, and then my brother has Funimation that he lets me use.
Well, so Netflix, booted everybody out that wasn't in your household, and lo and behold, subscriptions went up. Imagine that. Imagine that when you get faced with a screen that says, "We got you, motherfucker," and then they're like, "Oh, well, God, I guess I got to keep watching," and then they subbed it up, so it worked, and people will pay for stupid crap.
There's never anything to watch on Netflix.
I find that there's a lot more to watch on Netflix than some of these other places that I always tend to find something that I want to watch.
I find more on Prime, but I also have a subscription to Eros Plus, so I can watch all the Indian movies too.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got Discovery Plus, so I can watch all my cooking shows.
Why do you have Discovery Plus when Max exists?
Does it have all Discovery networks built in?
That was the whole thing about it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I have Discovery Plus.
Does it still exist? Have you logged into it since Max debuted?
Yeah, I watched an episode of Good Eats last night to remind myself some immersion circulator recipes. Yeah, let's see. Vince says, in related news, Driving Speaker Box is going subscriber only. Yeah, everybody would leave. It's subscriber, man. We don't have that good of content yet, but we're working on it. Do you have any other news before we talk about what's coming out this week?
The dude that played Namor's in trouble because some chick said he sexually assaulted her based on a podcast that was released, and she wasn't happy about it, and then all that kind of stuff came out. So Marvel's losing all of its villains or big people that they were setting up for the next phases.
Oops.
And there was one other thing. Oh, Venture Brothers movie trailer came out. Did you watch it?
Oh, I did.
Was it good?
It's Venture Brothers, so
I saw a thing that it showed a whole bunch of new characters that they hadn't talked about being in it yet, and so people are mad stoked about it.
Love me some Venture Brothers.
They're already talking about what they're doing for the next Transformers movie, with its box office opening being as big as it was, and of course the ending of the movie.
We will talk about that.
And this Transformers has the best Rotten Tomatoes score out of any of them. So, and you'll find out in a minute if that is well-deserved or not.
We will talk about that here in literally 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it is.
Now it's time for us to tell you what's coming out in theaters this week, because it is a new weekend and movies are always coming out every weekend, and this weekend is no different. June 16th, 2023. 2 big movies hitting theaters this weekend. Of course, the one, Elemental. Of course, Disney trying to cash in on. Well, you watch the trailer and it's very obvious what's going on in this movie, but it's called Elemental. It's with Leah Lewis, Mamoudou Athey, Ronnie Del Carmen, and Sheila Omi. It's animation family comedy about interracial stuff that they don't want to show people with color, so they just make them different elements. And have you not seen the trailer to this?
No.
So it's like this fire girl who's like, her dad runs a convenience store in Fire Nation. She's made a fire, and she didn't work, and she wants to be her true, authentic self. And then she, accidentally meets this water boy who comes from an affluent water family in the city, and they're privileged and water, clearly W colored, and then they fall in love or something, and that's not, elements don't mix. Water and fire can't date and procreate. That's a no-no, says society. So,
is it Look Who's Coming to Dinner, but for kids?
Basically, yeah. Okay. And, so they're just different elements. And, just because, it's about what's in here. Not what this looks like, you know what I mean? So Disney pulling that one. And then, of course, the one that everybody, Vince asked, is this Avatar? No, that's the next Avatar's Fire
Sky.
Nation. No, it's Fire.
I thought they were doing Sky next.
No. Oh, we're talking Avatar: The Last Airbender because there's Fire Nation in there too. All avatars are turning into elemental bullshit. But the Flash.
Yep.
The Flash movie.
Already got my tickets.
It's happening. It's happening. Flashpoint, whatever they're trying to do with this storyline. We've talked about it. We've seen the trailers. We've talked about Batman coming back, which is why everybody wants to see this movie. It's hitting theaters this weekend.
There's been some new footage put out too, where you get to see beyond the trailer, like some actual clips of it. And if you're in the Discord, you found out that I posted about how you can actually watch parts of the movie. You can read the entire synopsis, and you can watch the after credit scenes online if you want to look for them currently. Because
why would you want to watch the after credit scenes before the movie?
Despite Warner Brothers keeping this one of the most secure, tight films to have ever been more security on it than Avengers, someone found their way to release all that info. So,
well, it's coming out. We're gonna see it.
Yeah, if you want to ruin it before Thursday, it's out there.
You can do it online. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much there is to say about this movie that we haven't already said. Like we've talked about it. We've broken it down. It's time. The time is now. We're going to see it this weekend. Vince says you can join the Discord through the link up in the chat. It's right there. You can check it out. Yeah, get on board. It's a good time.
I'm excited for Batman.
Flash, yeah, it's Batman. Batman Returns Part 2. Batman Returns again. Like, yeah. Batman Returning.
Yeah, I mean, I brought it up last week. I wonder if this undoes the George Clooney and
I think what it establishes is those were alternate universes. Wouldn't that make more sense?
Val Kilmer and George Clooney Batman are different Batman entirely.
Yeah, they're just different. I mean, if we can have like each DC and Marvel have now indoctrinated all of us into the theories of the multiverse, which exist in both comic book 52, canons. Yeah. And so now we're all just like, okay, well, this is just a different universe. Val Kilmer universe, George Clooney universe, Batfleck universe, because Batfleck and Michael Keaton are both in this movie. So there's two Batman that we're familiar with conjoining.
Well, and apparently they've edited out some of the Ben Affleck scenes from this movie that they had to better fit Snyder or the
Justice League.
No, the new Guardians of the Galaxy guy, James Gunn, the Gunn DCU that's starting up. So we're not getting what this movie could have been. We're getting where James Gunn wants it to head. Same thing with Aquaman 2, which we talked about last week.
Yeah,
they've been
retrofitting this a bunch. Yeah. It's terrible. Anyway, that's what's coming out in theaters this week. You can check it out. You can get your tickets. All those things are on sale, I think, now for Flash.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and buy those online, especially if you're A-list boys.
Yep.
Boink. Not endorsed by AMC. There you go.
Should be.
Yeah, we should be. AMC, call me. I know you won't, but whatever.
Oh, did you see that GameStop fired their CEO and started losing money as soon as they did? Because everyone's like, oh, we brought you back, we saved you, and this is what you're doing now. So
yep. I mean, the AMC or the
just talking AMC and the GameStop and
GME was the stock code for GameStop, and that whole thing. You guys remember that, or the Wall Street bets thing, and GameStop stock shot up to like $250 a share.
Yeah, GameStop and AMC both got saved via COVID Reddit.
Yep, pretty cool. I still have 150 shares of AMC stock. Yeah, I bought it when it was like $1. It was a good deal. Made some money on it, and I get free ices sometimes for my AMC, Investors Connect on my A list. Got a free drink, got a free popcorn not too long ago, got a free icy last week.
Maybe you can go get a free
I'd rather have dividends, but they'll give me an icy
charger card.
They won't give you that. They'll just give you an icy, something that costs them like a nickel. Probably $1, but whatever. Anyway, that's what's coming out in theaters. Let's talk about the elephant transformer in the room, which is the new Transformers.
There was no elephant. There was a rhino.
Well, I know, but there could be a Beast Wars Transformer, right? There could be an elephant
Was there?
beast. No, not in the movie, but there probably could be.
No, I mean, was there ever in like the toy lineup or the
Could have
cartoon?
been. Was there ever a butthole man?
I don't think that was a Transformer. Hey kids, check out the new Transformer butthole man.
Yeah. You've got the touch.
Snapping a glove. Yeah.
No, but the dude that was Mirage that I don't like.
Oh, Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, yeah. He was never a thing, but now he is.
Mirage was a thing.
Mirage was a thing, but Pete Davidson was not.
He wasn't.
Yeah, yuck. Anyway, okay.
So we both went and we watched.
Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah. New
And this is a
Transformers.
prequel. This takes place in the 90s.
Well, Bumblebee takes place before this one.
Right.
And then this one takes place before
because
the main
Optimus goes, I know you've been friends with a human Bumblebee, but I'm still gonna be a dick about this.
Yeah, but okay. So I read a thing that said that the people in charge of making this movie said that they cared less about following the Transformers timeline that clearly no one gives a shit about anyhow.
Yeah, because by the end of it, they're fighting wizards and dragons.
Yeah, there was King Arthur stuff going on. Who knows? But they cared about making a good story with this one. And I'm gonna tell you something shocking right now, and I don't know how you feel about this. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Anytime a human wasn't on screen.
Aside from the rampant amounts of robots with lips, I
Like the bird? The bird would like make lips to talk?
yeah, its beak would form sentences,
Yeah, but she was Michelle Yeoh, so I was like,
which was awesome.
oh my God.
It was good.
It was good.
I hate saying that.
So anytime
there was some good. It was
anytime there wasn't one of the, hey, yo, Brooklyn, hey, New York, we're walking here in Peru, New York. We from New York, and we're going to figure it out, because, hey, Brooklyn.
yeah.
Anytime.
All the greatest minds in the history of the world can't stop us now.
Dude, yeah. Anytime the New Yorkers weren't on screen, i.e. the two main characters and Pete Davidson, who was the main character, unfortunately, that is the big detriment of this movie. Is that
Velvet Santa does say, he says 5 films and yet they haven't crushed a human inside a Transformer. They crushed a shitload of humans.
They
in this movie.
killed people in this. Mirage straight up killed
murdering like badge-wearing police officers left and right.
Yeah,
I'm like, whoa.
The movie opens up. They straight murder people.
Like 10 cops die in the first scene because
That
Mirage
dude's
is like,
dead.
yo, psych, you're going to fly through a hologram into a brick wall. And
yeah,
you're like,
or you're getting hit
Yeah.
by a dump truck and just crushed
Dude,
into paste.
I was like, there's a lot of good guys getting murdered by Transformers.
But it's because Transformers don't give a hell about friggin' human beings in this. And that works. It works. And they just don't say anything about it either. No one's like, whoa, you killed that dude. Everyone's just like, yo, we got away from him. Sick.
Yeah. And so I mean, this movie's not an amazing movie, but as Vince said, Bo saying the Transformers was cool is the equivalent of Fonzie saying that I was wrong.
Dude, it's so weird in the last 2 weeks. You liked Spider-Man, and now we both like Transformers. But
I mean,
the thing is, the Transformers part of this
wasn't bad.
is pretty good.
I will say, okay, it did when, yeah, like you said, when the humans were taken out of this felt like kind of an old school like Transformers cartoon. It's like they're fighting robots and they're doing the thing, and the story kind of made sense in the confines of the world.
Gave a crap about like how the story works, and seeing Beast Wars on a big screen was something for me because I was never a big Beast Wars.
I was never a big Beast Wars. I never got into
Beast
it.
Wars.
But I felt that the interaction, introducing them into the story, it made sense in the world that's where I usually have a problem with these movies is they break their own rules, right? You know, you create a world and you adhere to the rules of the world you create. That's something I say on the show constantly. Hey, Baldwin Orange, thanks for tuning in on Twitch. But this did that and in a really weird way. Because like the last movie over the last, canon movie where they were fighting wizards and Merlin in medieval days. They did not adhere to the world of which they created, and this one did. You know, it was like, we need to find more Energon shit because Bumblebee's hurt, and you know,
well,
like Omicron.
the whole
and,
thing is they're trying to find their way home.
Yeah.
So, brief synopsis of the movie is that the Maximals are under attack on a planet that they're currently residing on. They travel the universe and they seed life, kind of like the dinosaurs from Rick and Morty. But they have like this crystal key that allows them to travel time and space and seed planets and make life throughout the universe and the galaxies. And then Unicron's there to eat those planets and take
because they
that
got all
away.
that tasty life in them.
So Unicron sends down his lackeys, primarily Scourge, to get this key so that he can traverse different galaxies and eat all these planets to fuel himself.
I didn't like that Scourge had pupils.
I didn't
That was
even,
weird.
I
His
didn't
eyes
even
were
pay
freaking
attention
weird.
to it. But one of them turned into a Sylvia, an off-road Sylvia, which was sick. But so Unicron comes to this planet. He, of course, is trying to take the key, and the Maximals escape. They go through time and space to Earth, right? And they've been there for thousands of years. And then, of course, the Transformers land, and then you get the human element in there. The guy is trying to steal a car. The car happens to be an Autobot, and he gets mixed up in them. But the part
The tale is old as time.
and then there's a girl that accidentally discovers the key at the same time. They just happen to be within 5 minutes of each other. Both
Yeah, the super brilliant archaeological scientist intern.
I'm getting to that in a second.
Yeah, okay.
They both discover the Transformers world within 5 minutes of one another, and of course, somehow these Terrorcons that have been scouring the universe happen to be in that sector and time of space at the same time to come and attack them. None of that part makes sense. But then adventure ensues, and that's when the movie becomes good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there are parts of it that definitely take you out of it. Pete Davidson is the main character.
Oh, yeah.
The main male character wouldn't have been so bad if they wouldn't
Played
have
by Anthony Ramos, yeah.
if they wouldn't have tried to make that whole like sick kid, he's doing it for a cause. It's like that whole thing. That storyline's stupid. It's dumb. It's whatever. But he wasn't so bad. One of the big problems I had was that they made this girl the smartest person on the planet,
Yeah.
but gave her the accent that they did. And she's like, "I'm from New York, but I'm like so smart though, right?
Yo,
and I'm gonna look at these symbols and
these
like
rocks
save the world."
These rocks were 18th century, yo. This is 16th century stuff we talking about in this bitch. And you're like, what?
Yeah, and it just totally takes you out of the movie. And they rep New York way too hard.
I'm a
throughout the
motherfucking
entire film.
archaeologist up in here.
Yeah, the whole movie is very 90s and very New York, and that part of it is garbage. But as soon as you have Maximals and Autobots on the screen, like the interaction with Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal, like,
Yeah,
it made
that
me
was pretty
feel,
cool.
you know?
I felt
And, like,
it was kind of sad though because you could definitely hear the age in Peter Cullen's voice. Like, because I mean, dude's been voicing Optimus Prime for since the dawn of time.
but still,
it was awesome that he was still doing it.
It works and it's good, and Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal was so good.
And Peter Dinklage,
Peter Dinklage is the
killing
bad
it.
guy. Like
They had some really good voice talent, minus Pete Davidson. And
Michelle Yeoh too. I mean,
Can I ask?
Killed
Oh,
it.
Michelle Yeoh just kills it in everything, as you already know if you watch the Drive and Speed Rocks.
but the Maximals, only two of them get. Well, I guess the cheetah talks for like a second,
Mm-hmm.
but what was her air whatever.
Air Razor.
Yeah, Air Razor and Optimus Primal. Those two were so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, let me ask you this: why does Bumblebee have to die in every movie?
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, not a spoiler. It happens in like the first 5 minutes, right? Yeah. I don't know.
He dies in the trailer. You see Scourge like stab him in the trailer, and
But
it's
you
like
know he's
Bumblebee
not
dies.
dead 'cause
Of course,
it's the
'cause
90s.
and he never dies in every movie.
Yeah.
And I mean that's a problem with prequel movies, is you know that everybody's gonna be okay. 'Cause
Well, but it's also fun because Bumblebee is like super
immortal, I guess.
overplayed and saturated in the series, so they had to, I guess, get a way to like take Bumblebee out of it some. Plus, have Bumblebee come back at the end to be the superstar.
I will say that you know, and I hate that
That scene was sick.
I hate that it got me, you know, because there are things like, you
The
know,
entrance. And
like
that,
like Cool Ranch Doritos, you know, you don't like them, but you're like, God, that tastes so good,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And there are things like a Snickers bar, you're like, this is bad for me, but I'm gonna finish it. That scene where he jumps out of that freaking thing to LL Cool J, and you're just, oh my God, it was rad, and I hated it because I hated how good it made me feel, but I'm like, but this is so stupid at the same time, and you got me, damn it.
yeah, that's
Because
true.
that scene
after
fucking
you know,
smacked.
after I watched this movie, I was like, I need to go home and see if I can rent Bumblebee and actually watch it, since that's the one I haven't watched. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, it had, Haley Steinfeld and John Cena. But I wanted to see if Bumblebee ever had his voice in the series.
So Baldwin
other than
Orange
the
says, is he
one
the Camaro
sentence.
advertisement? And how many obvious ads? Like, unlike some of the older...
This is not in your face with any of them.
Because the older Transformers movies are like, hey, we're going to sell GM cars, and only GM cars.
No.
Here they are in Mountain
No,
Dew.
there were Fords and there were European cars and everything.
In
like
the first
that.
one?
Yeah,
That was
but-
like all GM.
No, but that was the big one. But that was because, I mean, they helped fund the friggin' movies.
But in this one, like, a lot of these cars you can't buy. You know, you can't buy Stratosphere. You can't buy that...
Bumblebee was
Oh,
he was the second gen Camaro that you see
Dude,
at the beginning
that was
of
all
the
like
first Transformers
Dakar
movie.
out.
Oh yeah,
man.
it did look like a Dakar car.
It was so cool.
They all did. All of them transformed into like caged rally, like off-road cars, and the Terror Cons, like they turned into
Mad
like
Maxy.
a really badass semi truck, and a Sylvia that had like armor on it, and they all had like rusty spikes and stuff. I want these toys. I want these toys, man.
Yeah, they were. It was.
And
Go ahead.
The moment where the Maximals change into their like upright,
Yeah, they
like
save that.
transport.
They
Dude,
save that for a
saved it,
moment.
And when it happens, dude, okay. So when they're on the ridge and they're like Autobots and Maximals and they're like fucking roll out, I was like, this is actually sick.
It was kind of cool.
There's so much of this movie that should be stupid, but it's so good. And
For
like,
the last one to be so bad. I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that is the stark contrast here. Because the last one was so unwatchably stupid, and then this one was a lot of fun.
I had a really good time in this movie.
Yeah, I did too, which I thought was it's very out of character for me.
Dude, and it had like emotional scenes and stuff, and I was like, no, don't kill that robot.
So-
or like when Optimus is like fighting Scourge and everything, I was like, this is sick.
Well, and just the realization of like I'm gonna be trapped here forever, and you kind of find out like why the Autobots are just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
and that was cool. But the thing that we need to talk about before we run out of time is this mid credits bullshit.
Okay, so it's all over the internet, but if you don't want spoilers, earmuffs, right? 3, 2, 1, go Joe.
the G.I. Joe crossover.
Yeah, Hasbro
I was
Extended
ready to
Universe.
I was ready to set the theater on fire. I was so mad because I was like, I just enjoyed that. Why did you ruin this for me? You know, and that made me so very, very upset. I was really angry.
Really?
I don't want this. I hated every single one of those movies.
All 2 of them?
And whatever the animated spin-off that they did.
I didn't want
And like, oh no, and there was the 2 movies, and then there was like the Snake Eyes movie. What was that?
Yeah, that was so dumb. I
And
forgot.
Yeah,
I
and
forgot
it's just,
how bad that was.
it was not good.
It was so bad.
And it's like after I had just enjoyed that, I was like, look, you got me to where I'm like not gonna hate on a Transformers movie.
They're not. They're supposedly it's not supposed to be connecting with those GI Joe movies yet. What they've said is that they're trying to remind people who GI Joe are, and GI Joe is going to help.
And who owns them? Hasbro.
Right. So if anything, I think they might be starting a new Joe, because Joe's there to help with things like Unicron. That was the whole thing, is like we're protecting the world against threats like Unicron, not like, hey, come help us fight Cobra
Yeah,
or whatever.
if I was that dude, I'd have been, well, thanks for the assist, you assholes. Like,
Yeah, it's like, hey, where the hell were you, bro? Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I would take Channing Tatum back, because Channing Tatum has put a lot of work in, and I forgive him for G.I. Joe, so I would watch him in G.I. Joe again.
Channing Tatum and The Rock. You don't need the Wayans brother or
The rest of them.
Die Hard.
Oh,
Bruce Willis's character.
Well, you can't have Bruce Willis anymore.
Well, I know, but you just,
But for such an all-star cast, it was a really bad movie. Ghost 971 says the reference to Marky Mark, and they
he was in another Transformers movie.
he was the first one, but yeah, I mean it was
He wasn't in the first one.
Was he?
He was in like the 5th or 6th.
Oh, that was yeah. He was what's her face?
Because that was the one where he was in Texas and he had the junkyard and he was rebuilding them when the world was trying to kill Autobots.
That's
and
right.
And also, if this takes place in the 90s and the G.I. Joes know that Autobots are good guys, then the rest of these movies don't make any damn sense.
That's why
because
the
in
crossover doesn't work.
Well, it does. Just scrap all the movies that happened before this and make a new timeline with this one because this one's good. Just keep doing what they're doing right now.
But they already have told us they're not gonna because they announced the G.I. Joe crossover. So they're already gonna muck it all up, make it stupid.
Not necessarily. If
they did a King Arthur crossover, and look how well that worked.
That's what I'm saying. Go back and just pretend like none of that ever happened. No Shia LaBeouf, no Marky Mark, and what's that dude's name? That comedian everyone hates.
Which
from
one?
Silicon Valley and
oh yeah,
T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller, yeah.
No, T.J. Miller. Even though they dust him in that movie, he gets just turned to dust. Yeah, go back and undo all that stuff.
Well, all right.
Anyhow, it's a lot of fun, honestly. Even if you don't like the Transformers series, which I've never been a fan of, I had a good time with this one.
And I begrudgingly admit that I did too. It was fun. It was a fun theater movie, and they cut it right just over 2 hours. Any longer, it would have been.
Well, and every time Pete Davidson's there, he's right on the edge of you being like, "I'm tired of this shit," and that's when they make him stop and they go to something else. So you get it in enough small spurts that it's manageable. But the girl's character, I just can't deal with, and the little brother, both of them are terrible.
Yeah, they weren't great.
The main guy's fine. Yeah, they were very unnecessary, and it's.
Well, there you go.
It was fun.
We got to do the box office roundup because we're running out of time. It's the last thing we do in the show. We give you the box office report for the last weekend, which was June 2nd through 4th, 2023. We're going to give you the top 10 movies in America. Jake's going to give you the box office totals, what they earned, and these are domestic numbers only. So we only give you domestic numbers for a particular reason because that's what studios care about when they are greenlighting new movies. All the international market stuff, that's just gravy. So we're going to start with number 10. We're going to work our way to number 1. Take it away.
All right, coming in at number 10 in its second week out, grossing $4.2 million so far, and 750 of that was this past week. Kandahar, the Gerard Butler movie that's out there now. And then at number 9, also in its second week, bringing in $770,000. You Hurt My Feelings. It's only in 900 theaters. It's grossed $3 million.
It's another A24 movie. So.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like for it, what its budget was or anything like that. I don't know what they were planning on grossing with this. I know it was not advertised until like the week before release, but I'm sure that's going to be something more people watch at home. And then again, in a second week release, The Machine at number 8, 1.7 million this past week. It's brought in 8.6 at the box office.
Comedies have a really hard time having staying power in the theater. But
yeah, I mean, it's not doing too bad.
No.
I mean, I guess. But that one too, surprisingly entertaining. Mark Hamill does a great job in it. It's worth seeing. Again, I'm not a Burt Kreischer guy, but it's
been on my list. I wanted to see it.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. And then another second week release, number 7, About My Father, $2 million there. Another comedy, same amount of money, 8.7 at the box office. That is the Sebastian Maniscalco movie that you can go back an episode or two and see a lot of offensive eating the peacocks in that movie, because the whole movie is just a joke about Italiano family.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna let that one sleep.
What?
Eating cocks.
That's what they do. That's what they do in the trailer, man. They eat the peacock, right? And then in its 9th week out, number 6, Super Mario Brothers, 3.3 million this past week. It has 566.3 $3 million in the U.S., $1.3 billion worldwide.
Hoo-wee!
You're going to get a Zelda movie. You're going to get Flintstones from this, and it's probably going to bring in a whole slew of other crap.
Wait, am I on the right weekend? Wait, what week am I on? No, I'm on the last weekend. Damn, I'm sorry.
All right.
Well, number 7. We'll start
Coming
back
in
with
at number
7.
10, Past Lives. It's second week out, 520,000. It's grossed 867. Number 9, The Machine, 576. Its actual
weekend.
gross now in its third
we
week
go.
is 10 million. Number 8, About My Father. Those are still right there together. It made $837,000. Its domestic take
Those numbers
is
almost
10 million. They stayed the same. They
Yeah,
stayed the same.
Didn't even change.
10th week out, Super Mario Brothers at number 7, so one lower than where we thought. 2.2 million. Its domestic's 570. Its current worldwide is still the same. 1.3 billion. Fast 10 at number 6, and its 4th week out.
Now we're caught up.
Available on VOD. It still made 5.27 in the theater this last week. 138 million in the theater. 650 plus international. So not doing as well as they thought, but it's out on VOD. They're making money there somewhere, surely. And in 2 years, we'll get the next one for the cliffhanger ending. You just got to wait 2 fucking years for a bullshit cliffhanger they should have filmed at the same damn time. Dune. Number 5, Boogeyman. Second week out, 7.1 million at the box office. Just shy of 25 is its take. A Disney horror film.
I know.
How about it?
Boogeyman.
Yeah. And then in its 6th week out, also from Disney, Guardians at number 4, 7.2 million. Its domestic is 335. I'm sure that's not at all what Disney wanted to see out of one of their main Marvel properties. And then in its 3rd week, Disney, once again, Little Mermaid dropping from number 2, 23 million for it. 229 is its take at the U.S. box office. It is not doing well internationally. There's all those reports of super racism in China. And I've yet to hear anything good about this movie, except everyone has said that... what's her name?
She can really sing.
Halle Bailey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that she's a fantastic singer. The rest of it, everyone's like, I hated the changes to the movie. Everything looks dumb. Flounder scares me to death. There's no positives about this movie except that she really can sing very well. So catch her in the upcoming musical version of The Color Purple. In its 2nd week out, you reviewed this last week, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 55 million this past week, $2.25 billion or $225 million in the U.S. It's only made 313 million international.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's been released very many places so far.
I don't think it's been. Let's see. I could probably pull that up, but. Yeah, it's not all over the place yet. So,
is it in the UK yet?
I think so.
Don't matter.
Yeah, it got 11 million in the UK.
Oh, okay. So not doing great international, but it'll probably get there. And then opening at number 1, $61 million, which did include like a Thursday preview and all of that. Transformers, and it's already gotten another 20 million on top of that. International, it's not bad. I would actually say. It's worth your time to watch this one, regardless of how you feel about any of the rest of them.
Yeah, it's fun. Vince says in Fathom Events news, they added a Drumline Festival movie. No offense to Drumline Festivals, but I would prefer death to see that in a theater. It's a funny... Back when I was doing a lot more production stuff, there was a guy that I used to edit these videos, and it was just like snare drum competitions. And there was like these Irish snare drummers, and I just have to like scrub through hours of snare drummers, and it was mind numbing. But hey, to each their own. I don't know if I want to go sit through a theater showing of that though. Excuse me. Anyway, all right. Well, that's it. As I'm choking on air.
Yeah. But I'll say one more thing about Transformers. Go watch it so I can get my Predacons in the next one. There's no Predacons in this one. It's all the Terracons.
Which one was the Predacons?
The Predacons are the evil beast. They're the ones that are like the Beatles and like the
They had the Scorpions.
Yeah, the Scorpions, but they weren't real Predacons, and there was multiple of them. It's not like the one-of-a-kind Transformer.
Gotcha.
You know, I want, like, true Predacons, you know.
All right, well, that's Jake's asking you. You got to go see Transformers to give it more money, apparently, or buy the toys because he needs those toys.
That's where I'm going right after we leave here.
Where does he get all these wonderful toys?
True, I don't have toy money right now.
Yeah, because you're going to go see Tenacious D.
Yeah, Steel Panther and Tenacious D, and figure out what I got to do to go see Kiss.
I know. Them not be if they weren't in October, I'd be all about it. I'm locked. I'm locked in October. Can't do anything. It's where I make my money. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this wherever it is you tell people to watch podcasts. Just throw a link when someone's online going, "What podcast? I'm going on a road trip. What should I listen to?" Be like, "Driving Speaker Box, duh." And did you like? I've been seeing a lot more people that are like have followings on YouTube doing like movie podcasts now, and don't subscribe to them. Like anytime you feel like you want to, subscribe to us instead. And we've been doing this longer. We're better at it. And yeah, that's right. And we could give us, yeah, we need money. Give us your money. I just upgraded all the lights in the studio, damn it, and that costs money. So anyway, like and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. As always, I'm your host, Bo, the Boom Operator.
I'm the Grip.
And we will see you guys next week.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.